Santiago, thanks very much for joining us. You're head of Azora's infrastructure team, and renewable energy is obviously an increasingly important topic in the market. What are you seeing as the key trends and market outlook for renewable energy, particularly in Spain?
Renewable energy is a hot topic in general and in particular in Spain. The priorities for the government in terms of increasing capacity in Spain is clear, but also there are a lot of companies and clearly energy companies and electric utilities are two clear examples that their strategic objectives are to increase substantially the capacity in renewable energy. So, I mean, clearly investing in renewable in Spain now is a clear priority for many companies. And I think it's the right timing for Spain for different reasons. First is that we have the natural resource, both in solar and in wind. And also we have the land. You know that these type of projects require substantial land plots, and we have both in Spain. So clearly, I think it's the right timing and the right opportunity to invest in renewable in Spain.
You've recently done a deal with Eni. How does that fit in terms of your strategy at Azora? And I guess, what are you both bringing to the deal? What makes it positive for both parties?
Yes, we are very happy with the transaction, and clearly for Azora, it's very good to have a partner like Eni. For Eni, in the first place, I think it's a strategic transaction. As you know, one of their key priorities is to increase the capacity in renewable in general in Europe, but in particular in Spain. And I think this transaction help them to achieve the objective. With these transactions, they will get more than 1.2 gigawatts of capacity. And I think one of the most important elements is that they are producing energy from day one, because our portfolio, and I think this is quite unique, includes projects in operations, projects under construction, and also projects under development. So I think that it's not only that the size of the investment and the capacity is substantial, it is also that they will produce energy from day one. So I think from Eni is very clear. And for Azora, I mean, we are very happy to have a partner like Eni, where we can help them to achieve their objective now, but also, and that is part of the strategic agreement, we will support them in additional growth in Spain.
And picking up that point, Santiago, about the sort of strategic aims of this, what are you looking at in terms of the longer term partnership between Azora and Eni?
Well, I think that we have a double objective here. First, as I said, we will help Eni to go beyond this transaction. So they have very aggressive and ambitious targets. They want to have more than 5 gigawatts by 2025, and that will require additional projects. So we will help them in increasing that capacity. So that is part of the strategic agreement. And second, we will help them to operate and bring the projects up to the operational phase. So it's not only that we will sell the projects, we will support them in the development and the operation of the projects.
And there's been a lot of focus on ESG, impact, purpose-driven investment. How do you see that, particularly with this project in mind, Santiago?
Well, I think that this is a very good example of ESG priorities for two reasons. Again, one is that clearly investing in renewable energy will reduce the CO2 footprint and the emissions. So clearly from the environmental point of view, those projects are very important for that purpose. And second is that for the financial point of view, those projects are also profitable, because we will help with those projects to reduce the price of energy, because producing energy with sun and wind, particularly in Spain, will reduce significantly the cost of producing energy and therefore the price for the final consumer.
Is this kind of impact investment a more important part of the strategy going ahead for Azora, Santiago?
Clearly, all our investment, ESG is, I would say, probably the first criteria that we follow. And in renewable is clearly at the heart of the strategy. So we will keep investing in renewables, and we will keep putting ESG at the top priority in our investments.
Great, really interesting area. Thanks very much for joining us, Santiago.
Thanks, Richard.